Hey guys, gonna do a quick video on what I usually look for in my after hours scans. So I'll probably usually start with the after hours GAPA page. There's not much going on today, just SpaceX is kind of going in after hours near that 200 mark. So yeah, pretty empty after hours scanner. Then I'll have a quick look at the market monitor page. I basically have my breadth indicators here, which is the number of stocks above 10, 20, 50 moving average. Usually, if it's in the middle of range, it doesn't really mean anything. But at market turns, this kind of indicator can kind of tell you when breadth is kind of washed out. So after the super strong rally in April, short-term breadth got super extended. Usually when this kind of the number of stocks below the averages falls too extreme, it's kind of where market bottoms usually happen. So nothing too interesting there currently. And then I'll go to my themes page and basically have a browse through what was kind of up on the day, what baskets were up on the day. I prefer to look at the grid view just so I can see the charts a bit easier. So if I click the sort by one day, it will show which themes kind of gained the most today, and that was kind of quantum. But just looking at the charts, I don't really see anything that's super set up currently. Memory stocks were also pretty strong, with SNDK at all-time highs and MU getting over that 1,000 level. Crypto treasuries had a bounce with crypto stocks, but they're all in downtrends, so not too interested there. Apparently uranium had a bounce, but these are all pretty much in daily no man's land, so that doesn't interest me either. And I also know that semis were strong today. So then I'm going to scroll to the rank, which basically sorts by a bunch of different factors. So memories coming up first, and then semis, some other semis, some AI, infrastructure, energy stocks, more semis, quantum, data centers. Healthcare. Oscar actually looks sort of decent in the next few days. And a bunch of these AI healthcare / genomic stocks, they're kind of setting up big bases, but I don't think they're quite ready yet. Yeah, this gene therapy group kind of overlaps with the healthcare. But usually I just look at kind of the top groups on the day. This page kind of shows a bit easier which theme was kind of strong on the day. This grid can kind of visualize which days that basically every speculative theme got washed out, which was 10 days ago. Like this, every theme was basically red. And then since Thursday, when we had the news, basically a lot of the baskets just went up for the last 3 days. Don't really use the other tabs too much. And most of my work is going to be done on this screener page. What I usually do is look out what went up the most today. Today there was actually quite a big list, so 140 stocks in the large cap top gainers. I'll basically have a look. And most of these are probably already on my watch list. And if I see something I like, I just flag it. Hims, a couple people mentioned that this one is kind of breaking, has a cup and handle breakout over this 30-32 area, but it is under the 200 MA. So a lot of these stocks we already have on our watch list, but it's good to see and spot for anything new that comes up. If I don't flag it, it means it doesn't really. I'm not really interested. Like these gold stocks are just oversold bounces. They're still in a kind of a downtrend, and I wouldn't really action them tomorrow. Usually the list isn't this large, so it's a bit easier, but today seems like because of the war gap, the peace deal gap, there were a lot of stocks that were up. All right, then I'll go to the small cap top gainers. This list is a bit smaller today. Wow, this looks like a quantum stock that I haven't seen before.
Form 4 Nebius Group NV. 4. The 15th of June filed by Boynton John Wilson 4.
That's another quantum stock. This Wi-Fi is a data center stock. Let me just quickly check what Cerebras did. Didn't do anything. This one looks like a new quantum stock as well that I haven't heard of. So yeah, from this scan, I can already see two kind of stocks that have quantum in the name that I haven't seen before. This AEVA, from what I remember, has kind of a big stage 1 base. So this one I'm going to put back on watch. And none of these look too interesting. I basically go through my different scans, and so these scans, they won't have too many results. So it's kind of quick to go through. This scan's not too accurate in terms of extension. Go through my relative strength scan. A lot of these stocks will already know, like the memory stocks that made new highs before the market did. Some of these biotechs I'll usually just ignore because I don't really like to trade individual biotechs too much due to the gap risk. So that scan's done. Sometimes during bear trends, I'll look at the downtrending list, but if we're in a strong uptrend, there's usually not too many great breakdowns. So most days I kind of skip this scan. I did add this highest volume scan recently, but nothing too interesting. I would say the main scan is the uptrending 100 million liquidity scan. I'll get to that last. This RXT looks pretty good for a breakout soon. So this is pretty much the main scan that I do every day. Quite a lot of results for today, but usually I just look at anything that is above like 4 ADR. And I'll just go through the whole list until we kind of reach that 5 ADR spot. If there's enough stocks to trade that have high range, then don't need to look at the whole list. And many of these I already have on my watch list, so kind of getting down to 5% ADR, which is kind of on the slower side since there's so many fast stocks these days. So that's my scan mostly done, as we've gone down to 3.9%, basically the cutoff. And I feel like I have enough on my watch list to find some stocks to trade tomorrow. So I'm going to go to my watch list now and basically go over which ones are kind of still set up. So SpaceX is obviously going to be on watch tomorrow for potential gap up shorts. This AAOI looks like it's kind of basing. Could be a potential breakout over this 210 area in the coming days. HIMS, we talked about. Reddit. Reddit looks a bit like Hood, has that around. This one actually has half a year base with kind of a flat 200 MA, so in the software space, that's not too bad. RXT I mentioned. That might go in a day or two. Some of these semis like ARM and Intel, looking for a bit of a 1 to 2 day digestion before we break out to new all-time highs. Sometimes there are stocks that on my watch list that don't look good anymore, so I just get rid of them. Fermi has a bit of an IPO base above 8. Probably not going to bother with SATS anymore. Probably can take SMCI off watch as it's not really in play after that big trading range. So yeah, that's probably me done with the scans. Didn't see too many really actionable setups going into tomorrow. I did think Oscar was kind of interesting, given the massive weekly breakouts. But yeah, SpaceX is going to be the main watch for tomorrow. And it's just broken above 200 in the after hours. Alright guys, hopefully that was useful. And let me know if you have any questions.